to Preschool Explorers Storytime here at the West Fargo Public Library. I'm so glad that you could join me for our last Storytime this summer. After today, just a reminder, we'll be taking a few weeks off from Storytime, and then we'll be back though with new songs and books to share with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our welcome song. Are you guys ready? Remember the actions? Read big books, small books, short books, and tall books? Okay, here we go. The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier you'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. The more we be together, the more we be together, the happier we'll be. Read big books and small books and short books and tall books. The more we be together, the happier we'll be. Great job, everyone! So, you know how we've been talking about fantasy and make-believe all summer? Well, couldn't let today go by without talking about fairy tales. So I like fairy tales. What about you? They make really good stories and movies and lots of just cool things to kind of read, don't they? So our first book is actually based off of one, The Frog Prince. You guys know that one? Yeah? Well, it's where a prince gets turned into a frog, and the only way he can become a prince again is to get a kiss. Ew. So, since most people won't kiss a frog, it takes a really long time, doesn't it? So, I don't know if I'd kiss a frog. Would you guys? Might be kind of slimy. Well, this book is a variation of that tale. So that means that the author kind of wrote his own story. That's similar, but different. And that's what kind of makes it fun. So, this is Prince Ribbit and is written by Jonathan Emmett and illustrated by Polly Bernstein. Let's find out what happens. The princess and the frog prince got married and lived happily ever after, read Princess Arabella, closing the book with a satisfied sigh. Princess Lucinda frowned. That silly girl treated the frog prince so badly. She was lucky he married her. If I ever met a talking frog, I wouldn't make the same mistake, agreed Arabella. You're reading there? Read the frog prince. Imagine that. Princess Martha, she's right there, rolled her eyes. She liked facts more than fairy tales and real frogs more than enchanted ones. She'd heard a real frog croaking in the royal pond many times, but she could never spot him. He's a clever little thing, thought Martha. Martha was right. The frog was very clever indeed. He often listened in on the sister stories, and the more he heard of prince and princesses, the more he longed to live like them. The frog dreamed of sleeping in a soft bed, eating fine foods, and wearing a beautiful crown. And he'd just come up with a cunning plan to make his dream come true. Wonder what that plan is. Eek! Go away, you slimy little beast, shrieked Arabella and Lucinda as the frog hopped out in front of them. But the frog did not go away. Instead, he cleared his throat and spoke. Allow me to introduce myself, said the sly frog. My name is Prince Ribbit. Arabella and Lucinda stared open-mouthed, but Martha was delighted. It's a frog, she shouted. A talking frog. Never heard of such thing. Actually, I'm an enchanted prince, he said. A jealous wizard turns me into a frog because I was so astonishingly handsome. If only there was a way to break the spell. But there is, cried Lucinda. It's in this book. You just need to be looked after by a pretty princess like me. Or a pretty princess like me, said Arabella, and then you'll turn back into your old, astonishingly handsome self, and we can live happily ever after. No. You think it's going to work? Lucinda and Arabella took Prince Ribbit back to the palace and gave him whatever he wanted. Lucinda let him sleep on her pillow, while Arabella let him eat from her plate. But the more Princess Martha saw of the frog, the more suspicious she became.
Why are you making such a fuss of him? She asked as Prince Ribbit hopped around the dinner table. Oh, look at that mess he's making. Because he's an enchanted prince, said Arabella, and that's how you break the spell. Just because it's in a book doesn't mean it's true, said Martha. And with that, she went to the royal library to look up the truth about frogs. A mother frog lays eggs, she explained to her sisters. Then the eggs turned into tadpoles, and the tadpoles turned into frogs. But frogs don't ever turn into princes. Just because it's in a book doesn't mean it's true, replied her sisters. So Lucinda and Arabella continued to pamper Prince Ribbit. They let him sleep in the biggest, softest bed. There he is, the big bed. And gave him the finest clothing and a beautiful new crown. You see his outfit there? Martha was the only person who saw Prince Ribbit for what he was. You may be clever, but you're just an ordinary frog, she insisted. Just because it's in a book doesn't mean it's true, said Prince Ribbit. This is hopeless, thought Martha. My sisters will never believe me, no matter how many books of facts I show them. But I suppose I'm just as stubborn. I've never read their storybooks. Perhaps I should. So Martha gathered a big pile of fairy tales and began to read. She was surprised to find that, while the stories might not be true, they were often funny, exciting, and inspiring. And after Martha had read them all, she knew exactly what to do with Prince Ribbit. If you're really an enchanted prince, why hasn't the spell been broken yet? Martha asked Prince Ribbit the next morning. Prince Ribbit shifted uneasily in his little golden throne and adjusted his little golden crown. Perhaps it's because I've not been treated well enough, he suggested. You seem very well treated to me, said Martha. I think it's time to try something different. What's the one thing that will always break an evil spell? True love's kiss, cried Arabella and Lucinda. Are you gonna kiss him? Me first, said Arabella, planting a big wet smacker on Prince Ribbit's clammy cheek. Oh, do you think he likes getting kissed? You don't love him as much as I do, said Princess Lucinda, snatching the frog from her sister and squashing her face in a passionate smooch. But no matter how many kisses they gave him, Prince Ribbit remained very much a frog. And in the end, both princesses realized that this was all he'd ever been and all he'd ever be. Are they realizing the frog tricked them? I suppose I should go back to my pond, sighed the frog, taking off his beautiful crown. But he looked so sad that Martha couldn't help feeling sorry for him. Please don't go, she said. Any animal smart enough to fool my sisters would be fun to have around. And while I might not want a handsome prince as a husband, I'd love to have a clever frog as a friend. And she picked up the frog and gave him a gentle kiss. The instant Martha kissed him, a huge puff of pink smoke appeared, and the frog turned into a handsome young prince. In fact, he was so handsome that Martha decided that she did want to marry him after all, so she fell into his arms, and they both lived happily ever after. What? And if that's not the ending you were expecting, then remember, just because it's in a book doesn't mean it's true. Look at there they are. The book tried to trick us, didn't it? He didn't turn into a prince. He was just a frog. Very clever frog. Silly book. Did you guys enjoy this story, though? It's kind of fun. Has lots of similarities, but in the end, the frog isn't the prince. But that's okay. He got a new friend, and that's cool. So our final board is also a little bit of a twist. So you know how princesses and princes live in castles, right? Well, I have some castles here on the final board, but they're not like king and queen castles. They're sandcastles. Have you guys ever built a sandcastle before? It's fun, but it can also be a little tricky because you have to get the sand just right so they stay up, don't you? Yeah. Well, these sandcastles are almost done. You can tell they're different colors.
And they're missing something important. You know what it is? Missing flags to go on top. So I have a flag for each of them, and we're going to match which one goes where, okay? So let's start off by doing the colors of the castles. So what color do we have here? The pink. What's this one? It's the same color as grass, isn't it? And that's green. This one is red. And then we have, what color is it? It's the same color as here, isn't it? It's blue. And lastly, I don't know if this one's showing up as well. I'll tell you, this one's purple. Is that what you thought? That's purple. So I'm going to hold up 2 colors at a time, and we're going to see if we can match to the pink one. Okay? So I have 2 options. We have option 1 and option 2. Which one is pink? 1 or 2? 1. You're right. Okay, let's go put the flag up on the pink castle. There it is. Okay. Now, here's our next choices. 1 or 2? Which one is green? 2. 2 is green. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this one in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ready? Here's our next 2. We have 1 or option 2. Which one is red? 1. Yeah. Okay. Don't they look so cool with their flakes? Okay, look at that. We just have 2 left. Let's see if these will look different on the thing. Oh no, they look the same on the computer, don't they? Okay, well, I guess I'll have to do these 2. This one's the purple one, and this one's the blue one. But they kind of look the same color. Sometimes technology does that. So purple, remember which castle's purple? This one. This one. Yeah. And in there. Put the blue one on. There we go. Now all of our castles have flags. I think they look so cool. What about you guys? Yeah, they look pretty snazzy. Okay. Thanks for helping, even though the last one tried to trick us. Just like the frog. Well, you guys really know your colors, though. You guys ready for another story? So this book has lots and lots of fairy tale characters in it, except they're all pets. Yeah. And there's also a new character. His name is Bob, and he wants a job. And he decides he's going to be a pet sitter. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you think that actually goes that well. So, this is Fairy Tale Pets, and it's written by Tracy Corduroy and illustrated by Jorge Martin. Oh, let's see how this goes. Bob lived at a nice little neat hill and a nice neat house with neat roses. His dog, named Rex, was friendly and smart, and he was very quiet and neat for a dog. Their life was perfectly neat and fine, except they were very, very poor. Oh no, there's nothing in the cupboard except for a spider. I need to find a job, said Bob, but what could I do? Then Bob remembered he loved animals, and the neighborhood was full of them. That's it. I'll take care of pets, he cried. Easy. Yeah, right here he has a dog. He knows how to do it. So that night, Bob and Rex put up posters all around town. They said, need help with your pet? Then Bob and Rex are here for you. We walk dogs, we cat sit, we house hamsters. No pet too big or too small. Come to the house on the hill. I wonder who's going to get there first. All ready, said Bob the next day when, ding dong, the first pet arrived.
Hi, beamed the little golden-haired girl. Could you please take care of my baby bear while I'm on vacation? Get out there. Does that bear look nice? Really? Bear? Built Bob. He'd been expecting hamsters and bunnies. Don't worry, said the girl. He's such a little sweetheart. And, waving goodbye, she skipped away. But then the little sweetheart found his voice. Someone's been eating my porridge. Someone's been sitting in my chair. And someone's been sleeping in my bed. No, stuttered Bob. That's Rex's bed. But in jumped the bear and crack! He broke the bed. Oh my, cried Bob, staring at the mess. But the bear didn't care because now he had a splinter. Well, oh, poor bear. No sooner had Bob gotten the splinter out when, ding dong, another pet arrived. I'm Jack, said the boy at the door. Could you take care of Gabby, my goose? Phew, smiled Bob. Much easier than a bear. Jack took some beans from his pocket. Take these in return, he said. Beans? Asked Bob as he took the goose in. Now, where should we put her? He wondered, but Gabby soon found the perfect spot for her nest. Where's that going to be? Someone's been sitting on my head, gurgled Baby Bear, and she's still there. Look! Don't worry, gasped Bob. We'll get her down. But the goose did not want to be moved. She fluttered and flapped, she pecked and squawked, and suddenly out popped a big, heavy egg. Crash! Good heavens, exclaimed Bob. Too noisy, cried Baby Bear. Well. Poor Rex had barely cleaned things up when, ding dong! No more pets, groaned Bob. With a heavy sigh, he opened the door to see a rather green lady glaring back. Here, she said in a growly voice, take these nice quiet billy goats. No, wait, pleaded Bob. We don't have room for all three. But the goats were already inside. Trip, trap, trip, trap, with their clunky hooves, tipping over teapots, trampling over tables. Ow! They stepped on my toes! Squealed Baby Bear. Wah! What a ruckus! Shh, whispered Bob, or you'll scare the goose. But it was too late. Honk! Gabby hooted, and out tumbled several more eggs. They thumped and bumped and bashed and crashed. No, wailed Bob. The house was a wreck. That's it. No more pets. I don't think his pet sitting business is doing too well. But just when Bob thought things couldn't get any worse, three little pigs skipped up to the house. Our puppy needs a walk, the leader cried. He's really friendly, honest. Bob looked at the puppy. It was positively huge. Is that a puppy? Bob looked at uh, Bob looked at the puppy. I'm sorry, we're full, he exclaimed. But the puppy just opened its big, wolfy mouth full of big, sharp, wolfy teeth, and then it huffed and it puffed and it blew the house down. Oh no! Oh, Rex, gasped Bob, I'm done with pet sitting. The problem else was, what else could he do? And out of his pocket fell one of Jack's beans. That's it. I'll be a gardener, Bob decided, planting all the beans at once. Soon they would grow. Then he'd sell them at the market, and he and Rex would live happily ever after. Hooray, cheered Bob with a great big smile. What could possibly go wrong? I'm not sure Bob knew what kind of beans those were, but they were definitely seeds from from Jack and the Beanstalk. Did you see the giant? He's coming down. Uh-oh. I don't think Bob's going to have a very good day. No. But, oh well, I'm sure that'll be another book. So, it's time for us to sing our song together today. And I have a twist on a favorite. So, do you guys know the tune for Wheels on a Bus? Yeah. We're going to sing that one, but I thought I'd make it fairy tale themed. And we're going to sing Wheels on a Carriage. So we'll have the wheels go around, and then carriages are normally pulled by horses, so they're going to neigh, and the driver's going to say, whoa, because he has to stop the horses because they arrived. And then we'll have a footman open the door, and then you guys can choose whether it's a prince or a princess that comes out of the carriage, and they're going to give a wave like a princess or a prince. This too, wave like this. So, you guys ready? Here we go. The wheels on the carriage go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the carriage go round and round, all to the castle. The horses that pull the carriage go neigh, 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 neigh. The horses that pull the carriage go neigh, 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 to the castle. The driver on the carriage goes, whoa, 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 whoa. The driver on the carriage goes, whoa, 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 at the castle. The footman on the carriage opens the door, opens the door, opens the door. The footman on the carriage opens the door at the castle. The princess steps out and gives a wave, gives a wave, gives a wave. The princess steps out and gives a wave to her people. What do you guys think? That was pretty fun, right? Well, I have one last book for you, and it's another strange one. So it has a princess and a knight and giants and a dragon, but the first page of the book is the last page of the story. So we're going to read the story backwards. I don't know. Do you think this is going to work? Let's find out. So, bless me. This is called The End because we're starting at the end. And it's written by David LaRochelle and illustrated by Richard Gilski. So here's page 1. It says, The End. And they all lived happily ever after. In there, the dragon, the giants, there's even the king and queen, and the princess and the knight. But they're already married. Is this supposed to happen at the end? Let's find out. They lived happily ever after because the soggy knight fell in love with the clever princess. The knight fell in love with the princess because she poured a big bowl of lemonade on top of his head. Why would she do that? She poured a bowl of lemonade on top of his head because the knight's curly red beard was on fire. Yikes! His curly red beard was on fire because he had been tickling a great green dragon. Oh no, probably shouldn't tickle dragons. He had been tickling a great green dragon because the dragon would not stop crying. Oh, poor dragon. The dragon would not stop crying because 100 bunny rabbits had hopped into his cave and frightened him. 100 bunny rabbits had hopped into the dragon's cave because they were trying to escape an enormous tomato rolling down the hill. That is a big tomato. What is it doing? An enormous tomato was rolling down the hill because it had been hit by a flying teacup. It had been hit by a flying teacup because a hungry giant was throwing a temper tantrum. Oh no. The giant was throwing a tantrum because the cook did not make lemon cheesecake for dessert. Oh my goodness, look at him. That's not how we behave. The cook did not make lemon cheesecake for dessert because there were no lemons. You can't make lemon cheesecake without lemons. There were no lemons left at the market. And there were no lemons left at the market because Once upon a time, a clever princess decided to make a big bowl of lemonade. Well, that's the beginning. Look at, there she is buying the lemons. So what did you think of that? It was different reading a story backwards, but it worked out, didn't it? It was kind of cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Just like I hope you guys have enjoyed all of our story times this summer. I've really enjoyed getting to share these books and songs and fun on boards with you. It's always a lot of fun. So thanks for watching and participating along. So don't forget that you have through Friday to log your reading minutes and earn an extra prize or two, okay? See if you can get another one in. So we still have the craft. You guys want to see what we're going to make? What is more fairy tale than a magic mirror? So to make this mirror, you're going to use cardboard, and then we're going to need a little bit thinner cardboard, something like a cereal box, and then some aluminum foil, markers or paint, your choice, glue, and sparkles, lots of sparkles. So, and anything else you want to use to decorate your mirror. So let's go ahead and we're going to head over to the craft table and I'll show you how to make your own mirror. Awesome. See you guys in a second. Okay, so if you want, there is a template available online that you can go ahead and cut it out just around the outside, and you can trace into the cardboard your mirror base, and then you can cut through this and then cut out the circle part in the cereal or snack box. So I went ahead and I cut mine out already, and I went ahead and painted it. If you want to get like kind of crazy, a really cool thing you can do is before you paint it, on the back side, you can actually have your little one take a pencil or pen and draw a design on it, and then you take a hot glue gun and trace their design, and then you can paint over it, and they'll make this really cool like metal type work. It'll just make it look really fancy basically. So it's kind of like a next step type thing. So once you have that painted or colored, you're gonna set it aside for now. And you're gonna need like the glass parts. So this is just cut out of paperboard, so it's a cracker box. And then also a sheet of aluminum foil. You can have it go either way you want. You can trace onto the foil and have it the exact same size as your small piece here, or you can just go ahead and kind of fold it over. That's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna make the glass probably a little more crinkly in the front as opposed to super smooth, but I think it'll work. It'll be fine. So once this is all folded, that tight. Cut some of the corners out. So see, we have the mirror part of the mirror, the reflective piece. So from there, once this has dried, you're just going to go ahead and glue it onto the mirror base. We'll position it this way. I'm just going to use Elmer's glue. It'll work. If you have anything stronger, feel free to use it. Hot glue will probably work really well for this. And it doesn't take long for it to dry. So, let's glue that on here. And the next step is to decorate. So I have some fun jewels here. I'm going to go ahead and stick a few on. So you can color it different ways. Use sparkles, glitter, anything that you want to kind of make it just fun. Gonna be creative for this step. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon at the bottom too for fun. So,
forgot to mention at the beginning, if you need to or want to, you could put a craft stick or popsicle stick, even an unsharpened pencil here, tape or glue it down. The handle, if it bends, it kind of stays bent. So for a little extra durability for play, that's always a good idea. So there we go. That is how you make the magic mirror. Have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye!